del mundo es Selina Hostels y con ustedes los creadores de un nuevo significado de lujo, Daniel Rudasevski y Yoav Gery. Volvemos entonces. Estaba diciendo que eso, ellos han logrado cambiar un concepto donde antes lo que significaba lujo, significaba ostentación, ahora significa tener una experiencia, significa compartir espacios y significa ser uno mismo. Por ello, hoy tenemos a los mejores exponentes de lo que significa Selina Hostels. Con nosotros van a estar Daniel Rudasevski y Yoav Gery.
Hola.
Ready?
Working? Working. We go? Yeah? Wow. I feel like I'm on stage at the Super Bowl. Thank you for having us today. Unfortunately, we're doing this all in English, not in Spanish. I hope that's okay. My name is Yoav Gery. This is Daniel Rudasevski. We're with Selina. The last time I spoke at a conference was in March. I was in Berlin at the hotel conference. It's a huge conference, and it's filled with about 5,000 50-year-old men in suits. And it is so nice to be here. Most people aren't wearing suits. Nice to see a lot of young people and t-shirts. So very exciting to be here. I'm the president of Selina. Daniel is one of the co-founders of Selina. He also runs our business development team. And so we're going to tell you a little bit about us over the next 20 minutes. And I'll hand it over to Daniel.
Thank you, Yoav. Can we keep a little bit quiet over there because I hear a lot of noise? Okay. Okay, thank you. Now it's much better. So first of all, thank you very much for having us. It's a little bit confusing, this 360. I feel like Justin Bieber. So I will try to do it the best that I can. First of all, I promise you that if next time you guys will invite us, I will try to do it in Spanish. This year we'll do it in English. So I would like to tell you a little bit about the history of how we start in Selina. Rafi is my partner and he's the CEO of the company. So we start together 10 years ago doing real estate in Panama. In the past, I was in the Air Force in Israel. I was almost 5 years in the Army. Rafi was in the commando of the intelligence. We actually met in the Army. And I took a break, went to surf in Central America. And I was stuck in Costa Rica. After a few months, Rafi called me and he told me that he needed me to go back to the Army. And I told him there is no way. I want you to come and join me to Costa Rica. After a few months, Rafi joined me and we moved to Panama. And when we moved to Panama, we decided that we want to be developers. We didn't know what it means, but we decided we want to buy a property and we want to build a project. So we arrived to a small town. It's called Pedasi. It's 4 hours away from Panama City on the Pacific coast. And we really fell in love in this town. There was nothing there, not infrastructure. But in the other hand, it was the best weather, surf, fishing, and beautiful nature. Everything that you cannot build was there. So we went back to London and Israel. We raised funds. And we came back and we bought around 2 million square meters of properties in this small town, 4 hours away from Panama City. When we moved there, it was very boring. It was nothing there. So we started the process of making projects. And when we make this when we made these permits, it took like a year. And during this year, we were one of the only foreigners living in this fishing town in Panama. So we decided to open a small coffee shop. So we purchased in Panama City an espresso machine, and we bought the first espresso machine to this town. And then, meanwhile, we're in construction, we decided to open a small restaurant because there was good fishing, but no restaurants. So we opened the first restaurant in Pedasi. And then we opened a bakery, and then we opened a wine bar, and then friends from Italy came and we opened with them a small Italian restaurant. And then we brought friends to open a small surf school, kite surfing school, and we opened a lot of different amenities. Before putting one block of construction, the prices increased 5 times in a year. And then we understood, and then of course we start construction, we failed, we didn't have experience, and it was very difficult to build 4 hours away from Panama City with no experience in construction. But where we're very good, it's to building a community. Before we put the concrete on the ground, the town was changed. So then we understood really what we are good at. We need to build, but we're good in building communities and building experience. If you will ask 99% of the real estate companies, what is the 3 most important thing in real estate? They will tell you location, location, location. If you ask us what is the most important thing in real estate, we'll say that it's people, people, people. Because people create location. Location is not creating people. And from the way that we are doing real estate, we did a few neighborhoods this way. We came with the idea of Selina. Selina, it's an hospitality company, but we are not focusing in hospitality. In Selina, we are focusing of bringing the local crowd to our common areas. Sorry guys, I'm a little bit excited. So, Selina, we did the same as we did with the real estate. We open a 1 room, you can open the door, and there is 10 bunk beds. And you open another door, and it's $400 a night, and you have everything in between. So it's a very democratic hospitality. We changed completely the language. When you come to Selina, nobody will wait for you with their hands behind the back and will call you sir 5 times in the lobby, right? When people will put the wine in your glass, they will not put their hand behind the back and will turn around. They'll just put the bottle on the table. We changed completely the language of service and the language of the hospitality. Yoav.
Thank you. Good. So I met Rafi and Daniel about 4 years ago. They just opened up their first property. And as I mentioned before, I come from the world of hotels. And I worked for Marriott for many years. I worked for Morgan's Hotel Group. And actually worked at WeWork for a year as well. And what they were creating was something completely different. They took the world of hotels, which, as Daniel said, used to be real estate in good locations. And they said, if we create something interesting and we create a brand for people where people can come and do anything they want with anybody, that's the idea behind it. So first of all, you have everything from dorm rooms that have $10 bunk rooms next to private rooms that have $300 or $400 beds. You have that as one concept. You have food and beverage. You have co-working in all of the facilities so that all of you who are digital nomads can travel to our locations, work in the location, full-on co-working, Wi-Fi, offices, phone booths, the whole thing. But in the afternoon, you can go surfing if you want to. We added a lot of other programs to this. Wellness is a very fundamental thing that we do. We do a Selina Gives Back, where we're giving back to the community around us, the neighbors around us, and that's for our employees and our customers. We do everything from music studios to surf clubs. And the idea was that if you create an environment where people can travel, meet other people, connect with each other, they're going to come, they're going to spend money, and they're going to be very, very happy. And ultimately, this ended up not being a hotel company. Oh, we're closer. Oh, okay, good. I hear myself. It's a little bit scary. If you look at Selina compared to other hotel companies, we're not a real estate company, we're not a hotel company, we're not just a hospitality company. We're a platform that enables people to connect with each other, whether they're connecting by working together, playing together, meeting friends, meeting coworkers, meeting locals, meeting other travelers. The whole idea was this connection, was this community. And it's weird because hotels are not about community. Hotels are usually about where you come and stay, spend the night, eat some food, and go on. We're all about stay with us for a day or a week or a month or a year, stay within our system. So that was the brand that Rafi and Daniel created, and we came on board and we decided, let's see if we can take this thing out of Panama, let's explore other markets and see if we can take this thing globally and really create a system. We originally test drove the system in Colombia and Costa Rica. It worked. And then we took it onward. We went to Mexico. Now we're in Mexico all the way through Central America, down to Argentina and Brazil. And we've also signed deals in Europe. We have several deals signed in the United States. This year we'll be opening up in everywhere from Israel and Greece to Portugal and the UK, all the way to the US, New York, Miami, San Diego. And so on the one hand, we have a brand that allows people to connect. The other piece of it was creating a platform that we can grow very quickly. How do we get out into the market, find properties, and grow this not 1 or 2 or 3 a year, but 10, 20, 30 properties a year? So where 3 years ago when I joined, we had 3 properties. We have over 45 properties today, several here in Colombia as well. We're on our way to having 90 to 100 properties this year, and on our way to having hundreds of properties in the next several years. And the idea is that in 2 to 3 years, whether you're in Asia, Europe, the US, Latin America, you can travel through our system and experience the same exact thing. Same types of rooms, same types of co-working, same types of food and beverage. The interesting thing is, how do you take a system of 300 or 400 properties and make them interesting in every location? So the real difficulty for us over the last 3 years is building a process, building a forward production plant where we roll out, we find a property, we find a hotel, we renovate it, we find the team, we train them, we open, we make money. How do you do that on a regular basis many times over and over, 3 or 4 times or 10 times a month? In December, we opened up 8 properties alone. How do you do that consistently, but at the same time, keep every property interesting? I want Medellin to look a lot different than I want Manhattan, and I want Manhattan to look a lot different than Venao Beach in Panama. Every property needs to have its flavor, its design, its look and feel, while at the same time, our customer needs to know whether they're on the beach for a day or they're in Manhattan for a day, they're going to get the same types of services, they're going to meet the same types of people, and they're going to have the same type of experience. So that's really been our challenge over the last several years of really rolling it out.
Yeah, I just want to add that we believe that today a tourist don't like to feel a tourist, right? When I'm going to New York, I want to feel in New York. When I'm going to Lima, I want to feel in Lima. I don't want to feel Miami in Lima. If I want to go to Miami, I'll go to Miami. And in our brand, we really localize it. So when you enter to a Selina, you feel local. You enter to our common areas, you see local people hanging out there. I always like to give this experience when I go to Barcelona. If I go to the hotel, and in the restaurant of the hotel, I will have only tourists, and somebody with the guitar just singing and only tourists there, I'll put my bag in the room, and I will go out because I came to see Barcelona, right? But even in the same hotel, I will go inside, and there is authentic Catalan singer and local people. I will have a drink there. I will eat something there because I'm already in Barcelona. I already have this feel. So this is what we're trying to create. And about the platform that you have mentioned, it's like we build a road, but we don't know what cars in the future will drive on this road, right? We're building an infrastructure. It's a platform. In the future, it can be the biggest Language school. It can be the biggest surf school in Latin America. So we build infrastructure that can add platforms inside all the time. That today it's Latin America, this year it's become global.
And so just to touch on that point, and I have 2 points to touch on. There's a lot of you here from your own startups working. I think there's 275 startups here, which is very, very impressive. The beauty about what we've created is that it is that platform. And because we are connected to the community that is 20 years old, 30 years old, 40 years old, even 50 years old, doing everything as they travel around the planet, we've run into a lot of companies that can work very well with us. So it's everywhere from companies that create apps for travel to coffee companies that want to grow their brand around the world to radio music studio company that wants to create music studios around the world. We have the physical infrastructure. We're going to be in all these locations in the jungle and in the city and on the beach. And these smaller companies can work through us to bring their customers and their product to us. So instead of having to build brick and mortar food and beverage outlets in New York City, we're talking to a couple of groups in New York to launch with us around the world.
Closer to that.
I got to do this closer. Sorry. My voice usually carries. I don't usually need to use the microphone. The other thing that I think is important to note is that although we are based in real estate, and that's sort of the core of how we started, the company's really built around technology. We created a technology team in Israel, in Tel Aviv. We're going to have up to 60 employees there by the end of this year. And our idea is that from a technology perspective, we need to own everything that governs our system. All the back of house systems, so all the reservation systems, all the systems at the property, all the accounting systems, all the data collection systems, those are all ours and internal and proprietary. And then all the customer facing systems, so the app, the website, the wristbands that we have in our locations that we're now starting to use, where with your wristband, you can open a door, you can buy a beer, you can do anything you want with that wristband. That technology is enabling us to grow much faster and also give our customers everything they need before they show up, when they show up, after they show up, and it allows us to communicate with them again before and after their trip. So the technology component of what we're doing is huge, and although there are, we've run into investors and landowners that see us as a hotel company, we really are much broader than that. It's really a technology company, and that's allowed us to get much bigger in all respects.
And just to add something more about experience and content. The most amazing things with experience and content that you cannot really buy it, right? You can buy good finishes. I can buy expensive floor. I can buy double glazed window. You can buy expensive things. But you cannot buy experience and you cannot buy content. You can bring good team that can think how to make it, how to scale it, how to deliver it. But you cannot buy it. It's not about how much money you're going to invest. Revenue have nothing to do with the investment. You can invest a lot and get nothing. You can invest nothing, get a lot. I have list of restaurants that it's plastic chairs in the middle of a market, just with the right music and just with the right crowd, and they are full all the time. Now, what is important? It's important to bring the right crowd and the right environment. What does mean the right crowd and the right environment? It's not to bring people with suits or people with money. It's to bring this feel that you don't know who is who. You know when you enter to a local bakery next to your house? So you open the door, you have this smell of this coffee, and you don't know who is who. Maybe the guy with the t-shirt is a CEO of a big company. Maybe the guy with the suit owes somebody $10,000 and you don't know how he will finish the month. So today, it doesn't really matter about what you're wearing. It's to bring the environment of don't know who is who, you feel that you're in the right environment. And we can talk about psychological, why people they don't have
Confidence.
Confidence. About confidence. Thank you, Yoav. So they don't have confidence, and you enter if only people with a suit or only people without a suit. I mean, when you enter to a place when you don't know who is who, you right away have confidence. This is the most important part. You don't need to be behind the screen doing likes for people in Instagram and Facebook. What we're trying to do, we really want to make a connection, a real connection, that you touch people, that you talk with people, that you have interesting conversations.
And just on that point, so as our headquarters are now based in New York and in London, and as we're growing around the world, we realize that we can't know everything that's going on everywhere. I can't sit in New York and tell you what's interesting in Medellin. We can't sit in London and tell you what's interesting in Tel Aviv. So we realized that we need to create a platform at the corporate level that supports the properties. But at the end of the day, it's the property level team. We have some of our team here from Medellin. Yay! But all of our decisions are ultimately made at the property level. We have our director of experience here, who is responsible for making sure that the Selina concept works in Medellin. It's the right music, it's the right food, it's the right mix, it's the right events. Where do we want to be in the city, and how do we want to be in the city? So a lot of what we're doing is really done at the property level, and our corporate platform is just there to support them and make sure that they bring the right Selina vibe to our locations.
Maybe I can finish with a nice story. Actually, this story happened here in Colombia, in Cartagena, that I'm sure most of you was there. So when we arrived to Cartagena to look for properties, I was there of one of our hunters. It's a Turkish guy, a crazy guy, that he knock on every door and checking what is the right property for Selina to take, because we like to take existing hotels. And I sit with him in Gethsemane, it's outside of the old city, and we ate there in a small plaza. And we ate and we had a discussion. Now, he's a little bit crazy guy, and suddenly he told me, you know what, Daniel? I want to dance salsa. Told him, okay, and I just continue eating. And then he said, no, you don't understand. I want to dance salsa. Told him, okay, Gio, fine. You dance salsa whenever you want. Now we are eating. And then the guy stand up, went to the main of the plaza with no music. There was no music, nothing. Just tourists, locals, people eating. And he screamed, who want to dance salsa with me? Of course, I put the head behind between my legs, that nobody will recognize that I sit with this guy. I was very embarrassed. And after 10 minutes, 80 to 100 people dancing salsa in the plaza with no music, foreigners, locals, everybody. I mean, it was crazy. And I thought, when it's happened, I just said, wow, it's the craziest thing that I ever saw. But when you think about it, what an energy of one person with zero budget, zero, did in 10 minutes in a foreigner country with not the right language. It's 100 people with no music dancing salsa, and I can promise you one thing. The people that was dancing and the people that was looking at them dancing will not forget this evening. It was an amazing experience, right? Because most of the experience, it's not to get what you plan, right? If I plan to go to eat and I ate, I had a nice experience, but the real experience, it's not to get what you plan. It's suddenly something happened. So that's it from our side. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Bueno, pues muchas gracias a Daniel Rudasevski, a Yoav Gery, y como siempre, Santi, ahí está el escenario todo para ti y para que, claro que sí, los bombardees con preguntas.
Ok, Eva, gracias. Ok, Daniel and Yoav, I'm gonna do just 3 fast questions. The first one, who do you admire and why?
I start? I'll start. So they did prep us just a little bit just before we came in here, so we knew this was coming. You know, it's a tough question, who do you admire? What I have in my head right now is, because it just happened last night, some of you, maybe all of you, have seen a video of Ken Norton from Google. It's a 30-minute video. You should download it. It's incredible. And it's around how Google thinks and how Google operates. And the question, it's called 10 times versus 10%. And I can't do it justice because it's an incredible story. But he basically tells a story of Kodak that dominated the camera market, dominated the film market, dominated everything about photography. A Kodak moment is what a photography is all about. And how they completely missed it, because the day that the digital camera came out, they immediately lost the struggle. The day that Steve Jobs realized that the phone camera is the camera is the day that Kodak completely lost out. They were growing every year by 10%, and that was Kodak's mission. Just do another 10% every year. And what they missed was the big picture. They're bankrupt now. Kodak doesn't exist. It's gone. And all of you have cameras in your pockets right now. I'm being photographed by 20 of them right now. And the whole story is around the fact that the world today, Selina entering the world of hotels, where Marriott is looking to just increase their numbers by 5 or 10% every year. That's all their shareholders want. They're very happy with it. They're just doing a very incremental jump. We are going for 10 times every year. So it's going 10%, taking it easy, being conservative, doing the safe thing, versus going 10 times. And that's what we're doing. 3 hotels to 30 hotels to 300 hotels. There's a lot more risk in what we're doing. There's a lot more risk in failing the way we do it. We're going to make a ton of mistakes along the way, which we did and we are and will continue to. And we may fail at the end, but his story was so, it's listening to him. He told our story over the last 3 years. We basically said, screw what's going on in the hotel world, screw what's going on in the real estate world. Let's do something completely different and see if it works. And I think that's what all of you are doing, but that's sort of in my head right now. I don't know if he's my ultimate hero, but that story of 10% versus 10 times was incredible, and you guys should all download the video.
Great. The next one. What would you recommend to an entrepreneur?
What do I recommend it to entrepreneur?
Yeah.
Like tips.
Yeah.
What I recommend to myself all the time, and well, first is to know how to change, to take decision quickly. Because the world is moving quick, and when you're entrepreneur and you bring investors put limitation, and then it's become complicated, and then every approval for you to take. I hope that I'm not ruining any investment for investor negotiation here, but keep the freedom in the first few years to make mistakes, to take decision in a phone call. To take decision fast and to change things fast, it's very important. This is my first tip for entrepreneurs. Second one is communication. Communication is the most difficult thing in the world, even though it's obvious, right? What I have in my mind now, I want to deliver it to this crowd, to Yoav when I'm meeting him in a room, but it's very, very difficult. I always give this example when I'm in traffic and I'm trying to pass and the guy don't let me and I'm trying to pass. If I open the windows and I say, let me pass, 99% he will let me pass. And it's just the easiest communication ever, right? I just open the window and he let me pass. But if I would try without open the window, he will never let me pass. At least in Israel. I'm joking. So to build communication in the company, it's something very important, because when you take decision fast, you need how to deliver this decision fast to the company. You cannot that in a room the decision makers sit and take a decision, but the company going to another direction. And the last thing that I will say, of course, learn all the time, study all the time, but there is a moment that you have to go all in. If you try or half try or maybe or let's see, I'm telling you right now, you're going to lose. This is my opinion, you're going to lose. Or you do it 100%, and when you decide, you close your eyes, you can hear, you can always change. But be focused, and you already took the decision. So the time of due diligence, it's very important, but the moment you decide, the company now is in a different phase. You're going all the way.
Okay, the last one. Why Medellin? Why did you invest in Medellin?
Yoav, why you invest in Medellin? Tell us.
Because I wanted to be here today. I think there's two reasons for investing in Medellin. As an obvious point, Medellin and all of Colombia is on a huge uptick right now in all respects. The economy's booming, real estate is great, tourism is going great here. So I think we really wanted to be here because it's where the world is coming right now. The focus has shifted from Central America to Colombia, and we really wanted to be here for our customers. But I think maybe even more importantly, and this sounds cheesy because I'm standing in front of everybody here, but Colombia, Medellin is just so full of creative people. We knew that going in, and we wanted to be here among this creativity, both because we wanted to capture it within our customer base, but also because a lot of our employees are Colombian, are from Medellin, whether they're in technology or in experience or in brand. There's a huge creative market here in Colombia, in Medellin, and it's just perfect for our brand. It's perfect for who we are as Selina. So I think those are the reasons, and maybe
I will
Daniel
add
want to
two words. First of all, I think I answered it before when I said that the location is the people. In Medellin, you just have really amazing crowd, style, nice people, welcoming, service, intelligence, innovation. Rute is here. I mean, just amazing. You landed, you just walk in the street and you know why right away that you want to invest there. There is no better experience. I can talk about market research, but this is the best. Just walk in the street and you understand it right away.
Amazing. Thank you so much.
Bueno, pues después de haber tenido estos maravillosos speakers que nos han hecho este viaje sobre las diferencias de lo que es lo ostentoso a tener lo que es una experiencia, viene un pequeño momento que os vamos a dar para que sigáis hablando de startups, para que sigáis averiguando un poquito qué es lo que se está mostrando aquí con todos estos 260 expositores. Os animamos a que sigáis votando porque ya en vuestras pantallas vais a ver ahora por lo menos el ranking de los que están arriba y de los que están quizás un poquito abajo, según las votaciones que habéis dado hasta el momento. Así que os invitamos a seguir votando y en segundos volvemos con nuestro siguiente speaker.